Hi everybody, it's Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stampin' Show and Tell to share with you today. This one's actually pretty quick and simple. I'm going to put together 3 different stamp sets. First of all, I'm going to use the Buffalo Check for the background. I'm going to use Timeless Tidings for my envelope and then my inside greetings. And then I'm using the new Joy and Noel stamp set from the Fall Holiday Catalog. And we're going to come up with this quick and simple holiday card. And I'm going to be using my blends to color in our stamp, and then we're going to be cutting that out with our scissors, so a little bit of busy work there, but all in all pretty easy and simple to do. So let's go ahead and get started. So for my stamp kit, I have my envelope. I'm going to use a piece of cherry cobbler for a background, so it's only in the back. Then I'm going to have it where my envelope, my card opens up, this way. We're going to put a little piece across here as an anchor, and then we're going to do our word on this one. So let's go ahead and do our word first. So this sample I did with the word joy. The other one I'm going to do is with the word Noel. So first I'm going to ink it up with my Memento. Because I'm using my blends, my alcohol markers, I want to use my Memento ink. So I'm inking that up good and strong, and then I'm going to flip this over. I don't think it'll fit this way. No, a little too skinny. So do it this way. So stamp down my word. Give that a good press. Okay, now you might notice that the Noel is a little bit muted or chalky looking. It doesn't have a real solid fill to it. So what I'm going to do is use my Memento, my blend markers with my Memento stamp here, and I'm going to go right over that with my new basic black marker. I'm going to give that a little more boldness to it with my marker. Just because I want it to be nice and solid. Now you could also, if you'd rather, and I know some of you rather, you could stamp it with Versamark, and then you could heat emboss it with black emboss powder, and that would give you a nice shiny sheen and full coverage. But I really wanted to work with my blends, and I was able to pick up a black one out of the Holiday Occasions catalog, so I thought, okay, let's put it to use. So here we go. So see, I'm just going over it, just filling in some of the areas that maybe aren't as dark as I want it to be. Okay, so there's a little tip. Keep them a little bit darker, you can get your blend out and cover it up. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with my Shaded Spruce marker, and I'm going to color in these leaves. Now I'm starting with my lighter one. I'm going to do the leaves light, and then I'm going to do these inside accents with the darker one. So I'm just going right in here, and then I'm going to make my berries red. I know I've seen some creations with this where they actually do some of the berries golden. So whichever way you see your greenery here, you can do that. And the nice thing about this is when you're doing the coloring, if you want to use, say, garden green is your green, use garden green, right? Or old olive. Or if you want to use real red instead of cherry cobbler. So you can use whatever colors you want, tie them all in together. I just chose to use the cherry cobbler and the Shaded Spruce as my 2 accent colors. But everyone has their own favorites, so you use your favorites when you're using your cards. So see how that just goes right in like that? Let's do another one over here. And remember, if you start with your lighter markers and then you want it just to be a little bit darker, you can either go back and put a darker layer on, or you can pick up the darker marker and go right over the top and blend some shading right on top if you want to. Okay, so I don't want to take too long coloring in all of these on the video today, but I'm just going to color in a couple of these spots here to show you how I put the color on. Okay, so some red in there, and then I come in with the darker green and I highlight these little tiny leaves in here. Okay, and then I think I also did like the stem with the darker, just so there was some contrast in the image. So, just to give you an idea of my thinking on the shading, the coloring. That's the way I saw it. Okay, so I've already finished coloring one sample of this, and I've cut it out with my paper snips. There are no dies for this one, so you gotta take your time and cut it out with your paper snips. So I've done that, okay? So there's that. Now we need to stamp our background buffalo check onto our card face. So I'm going to use cherry cobbler and ink up my stamp. And you certainly could use your Stamparatus for this, but I'm just going to use good old-fashioned clear block. Alright, so I'm just going to put this on my card here, and I'm using my grid sheet to make it square. And then my stamp is also square, so I'm just going to go right over the top, and I'm going to line up my edge with my grid. Give that a good press, transfer that ink over. There we go. Alright, so there's our background. So this goes together pretty quickly now. So we're going to go ahead and snail our card to the mounter on the back. That's just going to give it a frame around the edge, right? Flip that over so I don't transfer all that ink to my hands. Then, like I said, we're going to use a trim piece. So this one, because Joy was going this way, I ran it that way. But this one, this card, I'm going to turn this way, change its orientation. So I'll go ahead and snail on this trim piece. There. And I'll use a couple dimensionals to add my sentiment and my embellishment all in one. Put that across here so it stands out a little bit. Okay, so now for the inside, I'm going to use from the Timeless Tidings, sending, what's this one say? Sending good tidings of comfort and joy. I'm going to stamp that on the inside. I'm going to use the cherry cobbler. Stamp down my greeting, and then I'm going to put Merry Christmas underneath it. Just like that. So there's my inside greeting, my outside decor, and then I'm going to use this image of the mistletoe from that same Timeless Tidings stamp set. Okay, and then all I did was I put, this is just a piece from the dimensional packaging, I put this inside my envelope, like that, and then I colored that in with my blends as well. See? But that way it didn't bleed through all the way to the back. It will bleed through the envelope here, okay, but it won't go all the way through the back if you put that blocker in there when you're coloring. So, there is the card for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're enjoying your blends and having some fun. And this buffalo check is going to be a really fun background to add to our collection. So don't forget to pick that up before the holiday catalog ends at the end of December, early January. So that's it for today. Hope you're doing some fun holiday stamping yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.